Visalaw is the first immigration intelligence platform built by immigration lawyers for immigration lawyers. We built it to support every area of an immigration law firm's work, not just research, not just drafting, but the full practice of immigration law, restoring attorneys' time for client advocacy. It starts with data. Visalaw AI is built on the largest and most robust immigration law dataset available, curated by immigration attorneys and continuously updated. Every feature, workflow, and AI capability is grounded in authoritative immigration law. The platform is built with enterprise-grade security, and customer data is never retained or used to train AI models. Our improved case law tools deliver faster, deeper legal analysis with clear authority, stronger context, and reliable citations you can trust. Our new research agent goes further. It identifies your practice area, checks live government sources for policy changes through GovSync, searches the full catalog of US case law, statutes, and regulations when needed, and verifies every citation before results reach you. Visalaw AI. This is immigration intelligence you can trust.
Fantastic. That is an exciting product update coming to us soon. So be on the lookout for that. Tyler, how's it going this morning?
It is going. How are you, Ian?
I'm doing well. I'm glad to be joined by you to do some I-601A drafting today. Glad and appreciate everybody who's taken the time out of their day to learn a little bit more about this, whether you're a current customer or whether you are a prospective customer and just learning about visa law, learning about how to use AI maybe in your practice. This is an excellent way to learn a little bit more, whether that's learning how to improve your use of the product, or whether it's just learning and seeing what's available and what's out there. Visa Law, like is talked about in the video, is an immigration intelligence platform. And Tyler, you can let me know if this is an accurate way to describe it. But what we like to think about is you have your frontline AI products, and they're really remarkable tools, and they get better every day. But with Visalaw AI, we are tailored and geared specifically for immigration practice. We've got workflows built for immigration practice. We've got a data set, the world's largest, that's built for immigration law, is curated, updated every single day. And that's sort of what we mean by an immigration intelligence platform. In your experience working with lawyers, this is a really important distinction, because there are things that you want to avoid in using AI, and there are things that you want to bring into your practice, whether that's improving efficiency, or being able to draft an I-601A super quickly like we're going to do today. That is important stuff for an immigration lawyer in this landscape right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, and so as we get started today, I'm actually going to throw up a poll. So if anybody wants to answer this and let us know, this is just some information for us. If you want to let us know how many I-601As you're handling in a month, this is good practice, because if you have any questions, you're also going to go and use the comment section and ask us any questions you'd like as we go through today's session. And so just before we get started and throw your screen up here, Tyler, I think one of the things about I-601As that is really strong for our use case here in this specific instance is the fact that I-601As are hard because they require perfect issue spotting. They require heavy evidence organization, nuanced hardship drafting. And Visa Law is able to reduce the chaos around that. It's able to help you organize your petition, and help with document intake, exhibit management, all of these things that make I-601As sort of really difficult as you weave together these narratives built around these evidences. So it can take a lot of time for your for attorneys, for support staff, and you're not really getting to use your judgment. The things that you're trained to do as an immigration lawyer when you're doing this administrative stuff, or whether your support staff's doing that. And that's really what Visa Law brings a strong relevance for I-601As. So we're getting some answers in here, and we're seeing people are handling multiple ones of these I601As a month, which is, if you're handling multiple ones a month, you can really save quite a bit of time with Visalaw AI. So I appreciate everybody answering the poll there. Tyler, let's go ahead and jump into our demonstration here.
Absolutely. Yeah, and thanks thanks everyone for submitting the quantity of drafts you're doing on a monthly basis. I'm looking here and kind of calculating in my own head the amount of time that is that we're spending just on I601A waivers, and they can really add up. I think to sum up what you said, Ian, they are incredibly complex, but it just adds up to a lot of time it takes to draft these waivers on top of everything else that we're doing. And I think today, just to sum up what we're going to cover today, obviously it is I601A drafting, but what we're going to show the process of is starting with just a folder of supporting documents for a case, and in about 15 minutes or so, we're going to walk through the process of getting a really solid rough draft for the petition packet for an I601A in that short amount of time. So that's what we're going to cover. So just to kind of sum up a little bit more of what Ian was saying, and everyone should see our screen as it stands right now. So if you are a current customer, thanks for joining, and we're excited to have an additional conversation with you about drafts and where the drafting workflow may be able to fit into your practice. If this is your first conversation with us, first time seeing the platform, just want to introduce Visalaw as a whole to you. So what we're looking at here is our dashboard view of Visalaw, and this is the view we're greeted with when we first log into the system. As Ian mentioned, we are an immigration intelligence platform. So we are going to be one platform, all powered by AI, all very specific to the practice of immigration law, designed to help you throughout the lifespan of the case. You'll find the bulk of our functionality here is going to be built on top of AI-powered legal research and AI petition drafting. And the drafting side of things is where we're going to spend our time today. If you are interested in doing a more in-depth and more personalized demo to your practice, feel free to schedule time with us for a demo. We'd be happy to walk you through, answer your questions in a one-on-one call, and offer you a free trial period as well. So Ian just put the QR code in the top left corner. And hopefully you guys can see that. I'm looking at the comments and seeing that the screen may look a little blurry to us, Ian. Let me try to stop sharing my screen real quick. And let me present the screen again to see if that fixes any issue.
Absolutely. And yeah, maybe even increasing the size of your screen slightly might as well be of benefit. And to answer this question, if there is any latency issues or anything like that as well, if you're hopping in, maybe you get a call during today's demo. The demo is going to be recorded and will be sent back to you. So any issues may be resolved there. Feel free to ask questions in the meantime. Yeah, this will be sent out, and so you can review it, and hopefully it'll be crystal clear in the recording if it's not during the live stream. But we'll do our best to walk you through this live as well.
Yeah. So just to start here within the demo, we're going to navigate specifically to drafts, which is where we're going to spend all of our time during today's call. When I click into the drafts button, it will take us to this screen here, which we refer to as our draft library. These are going to be the individual cases, petitions, briefs, waivers, etc., that I've been working on, all sorted by the date created. And as we can see, most of these projects that I have in my queue are mostly completed drafts that I've already worked on here. But while we're on the demo, we're going to walk through the process of creating a new draft, as I mentioned. So we're going to come up here to the top right, and we're going to select on the new draft button. And the first step is going to be to create the project. So when creating the project, we're going to select the process type we're going to work on and provide the project with a name. I'm going to make an assumption that most of you, although you are drafting a lot of I601As, I'm going to guess that's not the only thing that we're focused on at the firm. So I do want to provide you all, hopefully this is coming through clearly, but I do want to provide you all with a list of different process types that we support as of today. So I'm going to slowly scroll down this list. You'll find that we do everything from asylum briefs, cancellation of removals, EB1s, EB2s, H1Bs. We support Ls, motion to reopen, Os, O1Bs, O1As, obviously 601As, which is what we'll cover today. We also support R1s, T visas, TNs, U visas, VAWAs, and then 601 waivers as well. So like I said, the first step is going to be to select the process type that we're working on. During today's demo, like we mentioned, we are going to be focused on the 601A. So we'll select that from this list, and we're going to provide this project with a name. And typically you'll name this something more relevant to the case or the client, but we're just going to call this I-601A in today's date. Now, Visalaw is a platform that is best adopted across the entire team or the entire firm. With that being said, we do have the ability to share this with multiple individuals at my organization in the event that others needed access to this project. You'll find as we go through here, whether you are an attorney on the call, maybe you're a paralegal or a support staff, this can be utilized by anybody at your firm going through the drafting process, right? So whether it is the support staff doing the bulk of this, maybe you're a solo attorney, you don't have support staff, this can kind of fit into your workflow as we've built this to work around your workflow, not have you have to work around a tool here. So once we have the name and the process type filled out, we're going to go ahead and click next. And you'll see we're just going to move on down this list as we continue on the process here. Now, the next step here that we're looking at is the file upload step. As the name would suggest, this is going to be the step where we upload all the files that we're including for this case. These are going to be all the documents we're going to include as evidence. And as you can see here, I'm going to drag and drop a folder of documents, and we have 15 files that are immediately going to begin processing for this case here. The system is going to index or OCR these documents. It's pulling out all the relevant content needed to draft the waiver here. In that short amount of time, we receive green check marks next to each document, just letting us know that document did upload successfully here. It's important to note that we do want to have all of our relevant supporting documents uploaded at this step, because the content found in these supporting documents is ultimately what the system is utilizing for the content for the cover letter here.
And Tyler, while you move on here, I want to also note, this is sort of the step in the process that is important to sort of understand how Visalaw might differ from some of your frontline AI products, like whether you're using a ChatGPT or a Claude. The information you provide in these documents, and why it's so important to also have sort of all of the documents at the ready from the get-go, is because the documents are, the AI is pulling from these documents, and it's pulling from our data set. So as opposed to a ChatGPT or a Claude, where it might be pulling from the World Wide Web, from Reddit, from Yahoo Answers, who knows. That is sort of the differentiation, how we're building our accurate and clear arguments with the information that's provided, not just information that's gathered from wherever.
Yeah, and Colin, that's a great question. It was asked, the documents that we uploaded, if they were document files or PDFs. Well, you'll see here, and Emily did put an answer in the chat as well. All of these file types right here are going to be supported formats for us. I believe that this case, the documents I uploaded were a mix of just Word documents and PDFs, but any of these files here will work when it comes to uploading supporting documents. And another great question, Cynthia. So yes and no. I would say that the naming convention of the documents that you upload is going to stay consistent, but actually on the next step, I'm going to walk you through the process of easily renaming all the documents as well. So whether Whether you already have the appropriate names, great, just upload them and they'll stay consistent through the process. Or maybe you don't have the appropriate names. I wouldn't worry about that when uploading it because I'm going to show you an easy fix for that. Enrique, another good question. How many credits are used for each draft? Each draft is going to count as one draft credit, if I'm understanding your question correctly. We do, if you are familiar with our pricing, we do offer both a pay-as-you-go option from a drafting perspective, while additionally we do offer more of a bundle of drafts that you can obtain on a monthly basis. So whether you want to pay as you go or you'd rather pay one price for 10 drafts, we have different options for you depending on your volume. But to answer that question directly, the draft that you'll receive at the end of this process is going to count as one draft.
And we have this question, one about translations. Each file submitted in a language other than English already has an English translation associated with it. Emily's gone ahead and answered this a little bit. Yep. We don't translate the document as part of the drafting process, but we do have a translation feature, an AI translation feature. If you just need to translate the documents, we can also procure certified translations with our integration partner MotoWord, and you can actually use that at a discount. There's a 15% discount associated with that if you do need certified translation. So that's nice. You know, you may not need to translate everything. The AI translation can help you decide what you do need to translate, what you may need a certified translator, what whatever you need to plug in there. So great questions there. Keep them coming. Yeah, and we will continue on.
Yeah. So once we have all the relevant documents uploaded at this step, I'm ready to move on here. So I'm going to just continue to click next as we'll move through the process. And this step is going to be all about compiling and organizing the exhibit list, right? So the end result of this process is going to be the system putting together not only the cover letter for us, but also the index of documents and the list of exhibits. And as a result of that, we want to make sure that these documents are organized correctly. And to the point earlier, that they're named appropriately as well. So I can do a lot of things manually at this step. I can organize this list manually. So I can just grab this hamburger icon over here on the left-hand side, and I can drag and drop these documents to appear in the appropriate order here. I also have the ability to upload a file for the AI to have access to and choose whether or not I want to include that file in the exhibit list here. So I can use that toggle to toggle that on and off. Let's see, looks like we have another question here.
Yes, so this is a question on document upload.
Enrique, it may be, or I may want to follow up with you after the webinar to make sure that you have the appropriate file types. I'd also make sure that we're in drafts. If you have a limited option, depending on the feature you're using within Visalaw, you will have limited upload file types, meaning the translation function does not support as many file types as drafts does, as an example. So I'd make sure you're in the drafting tool uploading documents. And if that is the case, I can follow up with you to get a little bit more information. We can look into that for you. But it's a good call out. So we can certainly help you with that. Now, if I were to click next, the system is intelligent enough to know where these documents should be utilized throughout the cover letter here. I don't have to come in and tell the AI how to use these documents. But if I did want that level of control, I can click this plus icon here under a supporting document. And I do have the ability to tag documents to specific sections here. Again, this is not mandatory. I don't have to do this. It's just an extra level of control that I can opt into if I do want to tell the AI where to use these documents here. In addition to that manual section tagging process, I also have the ability to select all the documents, and I can have the AI create those section tags for me. If I click select all documents here and create the section tags, this is going to have the AI walk through that process for me. It will tell me where it's intending on using these documents throughout the cover letter. on the front end. That way I can review where it's tagging those documents and I can make adjustments as needed. So maybe I saw this therapy note, it's tagged to these 5 individual sections, but I needed to change it. Instead of the hardship opening, I needed the medical hardship. Whatever the case was, I can come in here and manually adjust anything that the AI tagged automatically. So again, completely optional functionality, just depending on the level of control you want on the front end before finalizing the draft. We have added the ability to go in and view your history and potentially undo changes. So maybe I wanted to go in and view what I've already changed, such as the AI tagging. I do have the ability in one fell swoop to undo these changes and roll them back. So maybe I quickly did it and I meant to organize this list before I tagged the documents. I do have the ability to view that history and undo those changes in one step, as opposed to going through and changing them all individually. In addition to organizing the list, as I showed, I also have the ability to manually group documents into a single exhibit. So if I were to select on these 3 documents at the top and click Create Group, this is going to group the documents together in a single exhibit, and I can provide that group with a name here. But I can also select on a handful of documents or all documents again, and I can organize this list using AI. If I click Organize using AI, we'll notice the system is going to intelligently order this list of exhibits for us. It's going to create those groups automatically as well. So when I come in here, I obviously have that ability to manually organize this list. I can also lean on the AI to do a lot of that work for me. If it just got it completely wrong and maybe you're used to organizing the list in a different way, you can obviously come back and just undo those changes if you don't like what the AI provided for us. Or we can come in now that the AI has done its work and reorganize these groups. So I can take documents out of groups. I can rename the groups. I can move the groups around. So whether you prefer to do this all manually, you prefer AI to do this all, or maybe a mix of the two, you can find a way in a workflow that works for you to organize this list, depending on what that looks like. And lastly here, just back to the topic of the naming convention on these documents. As I mentioned, they are going to keep the same naming convention of when you uploaded them. So maybe you already have all the documents named correctly. Great, we're ready to go. And it's just going to continue to keep that naming convention as we go to finalize the draft. But maybe we receive a folder of supporting documents that aren't named at all or aren't named appropriately. I could come in here and one by one, select on supporting documents, click rename file, and this is going to allow me to rename only that one document. Or I can click, again, a handful of documents or all documents, and I can click on this rename using AI function. As the name would suggest, the AI is going to search through the content of this marriage certificate here, and it's going to provide that document with a new name. I'll go ahead and do this utility bill as well. And it's worth noting the system is taking the content of the document into account. It's not taking the previous name of the document into account when providing that document with a new name. Now, we do also have the ability from this step, we won't spend a lot of time talking about this, but we can simply download a petition bundle from this step as well. This would be the scenario where maybe I didn't need a cover letter for this case for whatever reason. We'd already written it for whatever reason. We just needed Visalaw to help us compile the exhibit list. I do have the ability to download the petition bundle. I can fill out some of these settings that I won't spend a lot of time going through. But when I bundle the petition here at this step, this is going to produce for us the index of exhibits in the same order and the same naming convention that we just reviewed, as well as all the evidence in the same PDF packet. So again, this is just if we needed help organizing the exhibit list. We didn't need a cover letter for this specific case. You can use Visalaw to only help you compile the list of exhibits here as well. And it's worth mentioning that if you were using Visalaw for that purpose, we have created a process type called petition assembly. So you can use that petition assembly process type for when you're only needing that index of documents and list of exhibits, as there is no cover letter associated with the petition assembly process type. But obviously, we are working on this I-601A cover letter. So we're going to jump back into the project that we're working on, and we're just going to pick up where we left off here. So as I click next, it's going to take us to really the last step within the drafting process prior to finalizing and reviewing that draft. And this step is going to have us select the document sections, or the sections that we're going to include in this cover letter here. So in the event I was not including every section I had available to me, I can pick and choose those from this list. But for demo purposes, we're simply going to select them all here, and we'll click next. And this is where I have the ability to review all the case details for this case. You'll notice a lot of this content, most of this content is being pulled in from the supporting documents for us. I can come in and I can change anything that needs to be changed, but ultimately I'm going to come through these case details and just confirm that everything was pulled in appropriately. Once I do confirm these case details and fill in any required fields, I'll put my name and my title at the bottom. It is worth noting that the drafting process within Visalaw is going to look very consistent from process type to process type, meaning a 601A waiver is going to look pretty much identical when it comes to the process of drafting that as like an asylum brief or an EB1A. This case details screen is really going to be the one screen that we see that is very specific to the process type we're drafting here. So I'll click next here, and these are going to be my document settings. The system will ask me how I want to refer to my documents for the purpose of citation. I have some options, but we'll call them exhibits here. We would like to include an index at the end of this document, so we'll select yes, and we'll title that the index of exhibits. I'm going to click yes to this. We do have the ability to annotate the exhibit list. This is going to provide a short summary of what every supporting document is in the index of exhibits. On the previous example, when we downloaded the petition bundle, we said no. So we'll show an example of what this were to look like if we select yes. And then arguably the most important step within drafts is creating or uploading your own template and selecting from that template to utilize when you're here finalizing the draft. We won't walk through today how to upload a template, but once you do upload a template in Visalaw, this is where you will select on that template as you're finalizing your draft. But we're going to use this. Yeah, go ahead.
And I was just going to say, as you finalize that draft, Tyler, just a couple things on templates. People may be asking, if you maybe work across an organization, you've got paralegal support staff, you've got other attorneys working with you on things. Templates do work across the organization, so you can just have somebody put it in, and then it's there for everybody. And there's no limit on templates. So maybe there's certain, you never know. So you can use those however you'd like.
And as we see here, that I-601A project is launched here. The AI is now drafting that cover letter. It'll typically take, I say, between 2 to 10 minutes on average to draft it, just depending on Wi-Fi speed as well. But just because I know we're coming up on time, I'm going to click into this completed I-601A cover letter or petition project that I did this morning, and we'll take a look at the example output here. As I click into the completed draft, we'll see that we have the ability to either view this draft, where we can also annotate this document. But as I click it into the edit draft mode, I do have the ability to edit this draft directly from within Visalaw without having to download this into a Word or a PDF file. Although I do have this download button here if I did need to download it into Word or as a PDF. One advantage I do have when redrafting this document within the system is I can select on specific text, whether it was one sentence, one paragraph, or a page, and I can utilize this AI redraft functionality. So if I select on this first paragraph here and click AI redraft, this is going to redraft only the specific text that I selected, but it will allow me to provide the AI with redrafting instructions. So I can tell the AI what I wanted to take into account when redrafting the specific text that I selected on. And
Tyler, I'll hold you up here just for a moment to answer this really this is a really fantastic question, Colin. So we appreciate you asking this. He saw that there were multiple children listed as qualifying relatives, and then correctly points out that you cannot rely on their hardship as the basis, and is asking if the system, if our AI is smart enough to reflect those other family members' hardship back into the actually qualifying relative. And Emily's gone ahead and answered this in the affirmative. Yes, the system has access to extensive legal context, including policy manuals, case law. We've also included recently BIA decisions for precedent. And there's a number, our immigration data set is huge. It's massive. It's going to be pulling from all of these things, a cookbook as well. Just a note on those sort of things that are collected as in addition. So yeah, you have all of those options, Colin. So that's a fantastic question. I appreciate you asking that, which is a nuanced and super fair question to be wondering.
And just as we kind of wrap up here, as we run up on time, after assuming we've made our edits, we've made our adjustments to this cover letter, we can come up here to bundle petition packet. And this is going to put together one PDF file that includes all the content we saw earlier in the demo when we bundled the petition bundle at the exhibit list step. But now we are included, or we are provided with that cover letter as well. So this is going to include the cover letter for us, as well as the index of exhibits. I guess in this scenario, when I did this in this morning's demo, I did not include that annotated document list, but we can certainly follow up to show you what that would look like. And we also are included with all the evidence for this case in the same PDF packet here. So as we kind of wrap up here, I'm going to slowly scroll down so we can get an idea of what this provided for us. We are more than happy to send you over this example output here so you can read through it on your own time. It's worth noting this is going to be pulling in relevant statutes, relevant case law. It will pull quotes from the supporting documents as well and cite back to those. But in a matter of 10 to 15 minutes, we went, like we said at the beginning of the call, we went from just a folder of supporting documents that we had from a client for a case into what should be a really solid rough draft for a 601A petition packet, not only the cover letter, but also all the evidence that goes along with it. So, obviously, we would love to have you all. If there are questions, we'll kind of stay on here. We do have some time to run over. But if you are interested in taking a deeper look at this and/or a deeper look at the rest of our system for legal research, translation, etc., we'd love to invite you to do a demo with us. And we'd love to offer this a free trial period for your team to test this out on your cases and your workload.
Yeah, absolutely, Tyler. There's so for anybody with any additional questions you want to ask offline, if you want to get a copy of today's output today, just to look it over, Colin, we'd be happy to send you a copy so you can understand how the logic was applied here. Send me an email, ian@visalaw.ai. It's in the chat. You can send me an email, and we're happy to follow up with you and get you connected to the right resources. In addition, just to underline Tyler's point here and allow for any additional questions to come in, we just drafted 69 pages of this in a few minutes, and I think the thing that I always like to call out here is just to understand how remarkable that is. Just a few years ago, this is a process that takes good Lord, hours, weeks at a time. And we've just gotten our first draft done in just a few minutes. The benefit of that is sort of goes back to why we created Visalaw AI, which is to improve the quality of life for immigration lawyers. It has never been more difficult, in as far as I know, to be an immigration lawyer at any point in history than it is right now. So this is really a tool that we've created to give you time back in your day, whether you just want to go home a little bit earlier, see the family, enjoy hobbies, just get back to your life, or to increase, and as we saw today with the poll, a lot of you are handling 2 to 4 cases a month of I-601As. That is a lot of time that could be saved by jumping from a blank page to something that you can edit to a full created draft that is handled either by your support staff and then reviewed by you, or just taken on by yourself if you're a solo or you're working in a small firm. it is a significant time saving. It's a potential to increase the margins on your business by taking more cases, to the ability to help get back to advising and advocating for your clients, and still maintain the quality that you look for when you started. So that's really our goal here, and that's really I think why this is such a remarkable process. And so, yeah, just wanted to underline that. And if you are looking to take the next step here, there's two options. You can get connected to our current customer and you want additional training, learn how to use our tools a little bit better. Would love to connect you with our customer success team. You can reach them at support@visalaw.ai, or again, just email me and I'll get you connected. If you are new to Visalaw AI and want to learn more, if you want to enable a free trial and learn a little bit more about it, just scan the QR code up here, or visit our website and book a demo. The demo is a really great opportunity for you to ask one-on-one questions, and understand, talk to Tyler, talk to Will, talk to Josh, about what your needs are as a firm and as immigration attorneys, and what you're doing in your specific context, and you can get the right plan for what you're doing. So I think with that, I don't see any additional questions, so I'll be on the lookout in my inbox today, hopefully to hear back from you all. Again, we would love any feedback, love to answer any questions and get you connected to the right resources. Other than that, Tyler, is there anything you want to add today?
I don't think so. I think that covers it all. Just thank you all for joining.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tyler, for doing the demo for us. And thank you, everybody, for taking the time out of your day. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Other than that, we hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. And we look forward to, thank you. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. So after all that, we've got an I-601A ready to go, ready to turn in, Tyler.
There we go. Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
Thank you, everybody.